Hey everyone, I just want to record this video to kind of go over what I was saying in the members charts section for the evening update. I kind of said that I can better explain this verbally than I can typing it out, so I just wanted to make this quick video. First of all, I don't know what's wrong with my recorder right now. The candles look really weird on my recorder. I don't know if they always look like this, but either way, tomorrow I'll try and get that figured out. But right now I just want to get the video out there so you can all understand where I'm coming from after that evening update. So basically, I wanted to point out a few things here. I saw on Twitter that a lot of people are pointing today's daily candle out as clearly that's an indecisive candle, and people are even saying that it's a bear trap. But I have a hard time believing that for a few different reasons. So first of all, below the equilibrium, most recently in this area, it appears like there's a lot of buyers' interest below the equilibrium, right? Because we see these long lower wicks, and then we blast through the equilibrium. So that, to me, if I was only looking at the candlesticks, that tells me that there's buyer's interest in this area. All of the dips were bought up very quickly and all of that fun stuff. But what I'm really concerned about is the buy volume is actually telling a different story. So we can see that it's trending upwards, obviously, but the buy volume kind of isn't saying the same. So let's see when we were below the equilibrium a different time, and I kind of don't like to compare different or past scenarios because I think it's a little bit unreliable, but this is just a comparison in terms of buy volume. So last time we were below the equilibrium. Let's take a look at just strictly the volume. It doesn't have to be buy or sell volume. Let me draw a trend line so you can see it better. Okay, there's the volume. You can see the huge difference in volume. Look, these three candles started kind of tapping away at the 6,500 resistance, right? And now look where we are now. Let's even take a day that didn't have a lot of volume, like these three candles here. Let's move the trend line down and see how we compare then. So we're still below that trend line, not even close to the trend line actually. And we're kind of hitting that. I'm not going to say that the volume has resistance, but we are hitting that, like, you know, the volume peak of where this other trend line was, which I'm not saying that that is any significance at all, but it's just something to point out to you. So volume is something that I'm concerned about. What I'm also concerned about is the lower time frames. So first, let's take a look at this chart. So I don't trade patterns, but this one's pretty obvious to me. I'm pretty sure this is also a bear flag, actually. You know what? I haven't gone over patterns in a while, so I don't want to say that, because patterns are a lot more technical than people make them out to be. I don't want to say that that's a bear flag without knowing the volume necessities and all of that stuff for it. But either way, clearly possible head and shoulders, possible double top, whatever you would want to call it. Here's the 1 day high here. But then what's concerning is the increasing price, but the way decreasing volume. Right? So that's concerning to me. And that kind of checks out with my theory on the daily that this is actually the top. And then let's go to my trading range, something that I've been trading off of. Let me delete this arrow. Let's take it from the 4 hour, right? So what I'm looking at on the 4 hour is, let's take away the VPVR. That doesn't matter in this example. Okay, let's just take it for what it is right now. Clearly, the price was rejected anywhere above 65.50 and anywhere above there. It was only tested twice, but I mean, the rejection was fairly significant. But you can also argue that the buyback was also significant. But if we break that down in terms of volume, let's draw a trend line so you could see it easier. The volume for me is still not there. I'm not saying that this is the complete top. This can keep going. It looks like it's still going right now. Yeah, it's at about 518, but I'm trying to and then on the tensor, let's see. I don't like looking at this because these orders can be complete BS, but if you go to the 1 hour on the tensor here, there's just not a lot of sell there's not a lot of ass, I guess, below the 6,500. But then above, there's just a ton. Take that with a grain of salt because that's completely unreliable, but it's just something I thought I'd point out as well. But I don't know, I feel like a lot of people are looking too deep into this, because if I saw this setup on something like, I don't know, an altcoin or Ethereum or, I don't know, XLM or something, I would 100% short this. So I'm trying to block out the noise right now and short it anyway. I mean, I already put in shorts for our members entry section, so that's all set there. And if we do get stopped out, we stopped out, and we can always just we can always short higher, which is completely fine. I also want to short right below 6,600, which is the range high of range 1. That would be amazing. So I really wouldn't be too disappointed at all if we continued to move up here. But I just really don't see how this is sustainable growth, in my opinion. And if we continue to test 6,500 and low 6,550, whatever, and we keep getting rejected, eventually this equilibrium is not going to hold anymore. Which chart is it? This one. So we can only see the equilibrium was tested once today, and then it bounced right back. But I just don't think that it's sustainable to keep testing the 6,500 area. Eventually the sellers are going to step in. I don't think I saw any large market shorts today. Let me go to the BitMEX whale here on Twitter. Yeah, I mean, there's no large market shorts today, or even any large market activity. I mean, only 3.1 at 6,474. Yeah, see, all of this, I don't see it. I feel like none of the big players are really playing this right now. Maybe they're trying to wait for the breakout, because also what I saw people were saying is this is a diamond formation, which I have never traded diamond formation. So I couldn't tell you the basics of it, but I mean, I could kind of see some sort of diamond, but I don't even want, oh, you know what? I don't want to embarrass myself here, but I mean, this looks like a diamond to me, right? Or maybe this would have to go. Yeah, I don't know about the diamond formation, but I also saw that on Twitter. And a diamond formation really doesn't tell you which direction it's going. What it does is tell you that people are going to be trading that breakout. And I feel like that's what a lot of these large players are waiting for. They're waiting for a decisive move one way or another. And I know I always say to kind of base your analysis off of the high time frames. And for right now, because of the weak buy volume, I say the high time frame is still king, and the candles are actually telling a different story than the buy volume. I'm really concerned with the buy volume. I don't see, I mean, I'm just going to repeat myself, so I don't want to repeat myself. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel about Bitcoin right now. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. But either way, I'm still comfortable in our short. If you're not, and you think this is going to, or you really don't know which way it's going to go, then I would suggest just closing out the short and kind of waiting on the sidelines and waiting for the next clear setup. That's what I would do. But I am going to stick with my analysis and try and block out the noise on Twitter and everything else like that. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I hope this helped. Sorry if I rambled a little bit too much. And yeah, have a good night.